Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on something we do every single day, usually without even thinking about it: communication. We're going to look at the hidden architecture that actually builds our relationships, our careers, and really our entire world. So let's just dive right in with a super basic question. When you think communication, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it just talking? Or maybe sending a text? Is it really that simple? Well, it turns out the reality is way, way richer than that. Communication isn't some one-way delivery service. Nope. It's this dynamic, living process where we're actually building and creating meaning together. It's literally how we shape our social realities. And this, to me, is what makes it so fascinating. It's this perfect blend, right? On one hand, it's a science. There are proven, research-backed methods to understand it. But on the other hand, it's a total art form. It's creative, it's messy, and it's uniquely human. Okay, so to really get it, let's pop the hood and look at the engine. To understand this architecture of connection, we gotta look at the 8 essential building blocks that make the whole thing work. Every single act of communication has these first 4 parts. It all starts with the source. That's you, with an idea in your head. You then have to encode that idea into a message, the actual words or images you use. That message then travels through a channel, like your voice or your phone, to a receiver. And their job is to decode. But it's not just a straight line, because the whole thing comes alive with feedback, a quick nod, a reply, even just a confused look. And this is all happening in an environment, say a noisy coffee shop versus a quiet library. It's shaped by context, too. I mean, you talk to your boss differently than your best friend, right? And finally, you've always got the potential for interference or a noise that can just mess everything up. So here's the really important part. Those 8 building blocks, they don't just fit together one way. Think of them like Legos. You can build different structures, which leads us to 3 key models that explain how we connect. First up, you've got the simplest one, the linear model. I want you to picture a one-way street. Information flows from a sender to a receiver, and that's it. There's no U-turn, no feedback. A radio broadcast, a billboard on the highway, the message goes out, but there's no conversation coming back. Okay, so that's a little basic for most of our lives, right? So let's level up to the interactive model. Now we're talking a two-way street, but with traffic lights. It's a turn-based exchange. One person sends, the other receives, and then they respond. Think of an email chain or a Q&A session. There's a back and forth, but it's not happening all at once. And that brings us to the big one, the transactional model. And honestly, this is where the magic happens. This is what most of our real, meaningful conversations actually look like. Forget one-way streets or taking turns. This is a multi-lane roundabout at rush hour. We are sending and receiving messages at the exact same time, constantly adapting to each other to create meaning on the fly. And just look at how this chart lays it all out. You can literally see the idea evolving. We move from a simple one-way broadcast to a back-and-forth exchange, all the way to this complex simultaneous dance where we're both sender and receiver at the same time. It just gets closer and closer to how we actually live and talk. And that right there is the key takeaway. Think about it. The most important conversations you have with your family, your friends, your team at work, they aren't like a billboard. They are alive. They're these dynamic, real-time dances where we are constantly creating something new together. So we've taken apart the engine, we've looked at the different models. But you might be thinking, okay, that's cool, but so what? Why does mastering this stuff actually matter in the real world? Well, how about we start with a hard number that might make you sit up a little straighter: 20 to 25%. According to research, that's the productivity boost you see in well-connected teams. All of a sudden, communication isn't just some fluffy, soft skill. It's a hard, measurable asset. And its power is everywhere. In our personal lives, it's what builds trust and deepens relationships. Professionally, yeah, it drives those incredible results we just talked about. And for society as a whole, it's the absolute bedrock of everything, from how our democracy works to simple public safety. It is that important. But let's be real for a second. We all know it's not always easy. Communication is fragile. It breaks down all the time. So let's talk about that static, the interference, the noise that gets in the way. Now, some of this noise is super obvious, right? Like a terrible phone connection or construction right outside your window. But you know what? The really tricky barriers, the ones that cause the most problems,
are usually the ones inside our own heads, our biases, our stress, our emotions.
I mean, come on, we've all been there, haven't we? You send a quick, one-line email thinking you're being super efficient, but the person on the other end, they read it and think you're being blunt or even rude. That's a psychological barrier in action. And just recognizing that these different interpretations exist is the first huge step to getting better.
So at the end of the day, understanding this entire architecture, the components, the different models, and all the static that can get in the way, it basically gives you a superpower. It's not just about being a better talker, it's about being a better connector in every single part of your life. So, as we wrap this up, the question I want to leave you with isn't just what is communication, it's what will you do with it? Now that you have the blueprint, what kind of connection, a stronger, clearer, better one, are you going to go out and build today?